Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am R. Indira, formerly Professor of Sociology at the University of Mysore and paper coordinator for the course Education and Society. The presentation that I am going to make now is based on the module Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule, which is part of the unit on educational thinkers. This module is written by Dr. Nisha Jolie Nelson, Assistant Professor of Sociology, Loyola College, Thiruvananthapuram. Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule stand out as pioneers in the movement for social and educational reform in the country. Having themselves experienced the pains of caste-based oppression, Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule dedicated their lives, why even sacrificed their lives for the cause of bringing light into the lives of those groups that were hitherto deprived of educational opportunities for centuries. The thrust of the philosophy of Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule was that boys and girls from all classes of society must be given the opportunity to get education. They opened schools, hostels, support homes for promoting the cause of education of the vulnerable and marginalized groups in society. So in this module, you will come to know the struggles of these two great thinkers who themselves had to face severe opposition from upper castes for opening up educational opportunities for those coming from marginalized groups. Both Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule believed that knowledge is power and felt that oppressive practices based on caste, based on gender and based on class could be removed only if educational opportunities were thrown open to all groups in our society. And they were both visionaries who thought well beyond their times and also insisted that the thrust should be on developing a qualitative system of primary education which would set the base for any young boy or girl to move up in the social ladder. So in this module, you will be first introduced to the educational thoughts of Jyotiba Phule and then to those of Savitribai Phule. Jyotiba Phule, an educational philosopher born on April 11, 1827, is among the many thinkers and theorists one comes across in the field of education, who was the first to devote his life for the cause of mass education, the education of backward communities and women. His thoughts and ideas were revolutionary. His single most concern was universalization of primary education. He concentrated on such aspects as the need for primary education, the essential qualities to be possessed by primary school teachers, and the curriculum of primary education. He gave importance to the upliftment of lower castes and women through education and took necessary steps for achieving this end. During Phule's time, education for women and those born into castes considered untouchable was like a distant dream. In such a situation, he launched a momentous struggle for the education of women and lower castes, in spite of threats to his life. For him, education was not just literacy, but a tool of social change in the real sense of the term. He was the forerunner of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as far as education of the downtrodden is concerned. It is for this reason that Dr. Ambedkar considered Mahatma Phule his guru. Phule was rightly called the father of Indian social revolution in the modern age. Phule's early life. Jyotirao Govindrao Phule, also known as Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, was an activist, thinker, teacher, educationist and social revolutionary from Pune. His father, Govinda Rao, used to supply flowers to the Peshwa families and others in Pune. The Phule family belonged to one of the backward communities called Mali, meaning gardener, which was forbidden from seeking education and other rights that were enjoyed by upper castes. The Malis belonged to Shudra Varna and were placed immediately below the peasant caste of Maratha Kunbis of Maharashtra. The orthodox Brahmins used to preach that Shudras and women are not allowed to receive education, and if they did so, it would be considered an act of sin. In this background, in a city like Pune, which was a center of Brahminical orthodoxy, Jyoti Rao was not given admission in an Indian school. So his father sent him to a missionary school where children from all communities were admitted. But due to threats from some Brahmins, Jyotiba's father discontinued his education and he was assigning gardening work on the farm. He was unhappy with the gardening work and was extremely eager to continue his studies. Impressed by Jyotiba's intelligence and his love for knowledge, two of his neighbors, one a Muslim teacher and the other a Christian gentleman, persuaded his father Govinda Rao to allow him to study in a secondary school. In 1841, Jyotiba got admission in the Scottish Mission High School, Pune. After completing his secondary education in 1847, he decided not to accept a job under the government. In 1848, Phule began his work as a social reformer. Interested in education of boys and girls of lower castes, he started a school for them. Since no female teacher was available, Phule asked his wife Savitri Bai to teach in the school. He opened 2 more schools for girls in 1851. He was honored by the Board of Education for the work he did for girls' education in 1852. Phule established a school for untouchables and a night school in 1852. By 1858, he gradually retired from the management of these schools and entered the broader field of social reform. He supported the movement for widow remarriage in 1860 and in 1863 established a home for the prevention of infanticide. In a memorial address to the Education Commission, popularly known as the Hunter Commission in 1882, he described his activities in the field of education. The government appointed him a member of the Pune municipality in 1876. He continued as a member till 1882 and fought for the cause of oppressed. Phule's writings. Phule was not only a leader and organizer of the movement for the emancipation of lower castes, but he was also an original thinker who had revolutionary ideas which he expressed through his books. Some of his major works were Tritiya Ratna, Brahmananche Kasab, Gulam Giri, Satsar Volumes 1 and 2, Ishara and Sarvajanik Satyadharma Pustak. In all, he worked for achieving his motive, that's universal education, education for women and uplift of people who were ostracized by the caste system. As a recognition of his great work for the upliftment of the oppressed, Phule was conferred the title of Mahatma in 1888. He wrote in Marathi language that was familiar to the masses. Views of Jyotiba Phule on primary education and primary school teachers. The submission by Jyotirao Phule to Hunter Commission is a document of immense importance in the history of educational reforms in India. The document contains ideas such as free and compulsory education to all now enshrined in the Constitution of India. It's probably the first document of its kind that speaks of creating a taste for education among the masses and making it accessible to all. Jyotiba Phule had expressed his views on primary education and primary school teachers in a statement forwarded to the Hunter Commission. In his view, it was necessary to bestow prime importance to primary rather than higher education as it was the urgent need of the masses. Phule's argument was that amounts received from the masses should be invested on their education in proportion to what the government was gaining, and that education was to get priority in government expenditure. The need of the public was to receive an education that helped them perform their jobs and also carry on their day-to-day activities. Jyotiba Phule was a visionary who was also interested in educational policies. He was in fact thinking of the future of education for an independent India. His goal was to give Indian society an education that would not only have a permanent value, but also cultivate in the people a free mind and liberty of action. Jyotiba Phule concentrated on the fact that the two important needs of an effective system of primary education were quality teachers and a good curriculum. In his view, a primary teacher plays a pivotal role in the education process. According to Jyotiba Phule, a primary teacher must be a trained person receiving sufficient salary. He wanted teachers to be drawn from lower castes so that they could be given employment opportunities. Phule was also of the view that efficient primary school teachers should be paid more salary than others. Educational philosophy of Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. Jyotiba related education with access to justice, equity, and growth for lower castes and women, and asserted that only through education growth could be possible. Phule's thoughts on education can be summarized as follows. Lack of education leads to lack of wisdom, which in turn leads to lack of justice. This leads to lack of progress, which leads to lack of money and results in oppression of the lower castes. Mahatma Phule was fully conscious about the importance of education as a tool of social justice and equality. In fact, he saw education as the harbinger of a social revolution. The essence of the educational philosophy of Mahatma Phule was that education is a human right. Article 45 of the Indian Constitution is the symbol of victory for the philosophy of equality of educational opportunity propounded by Mahatma Phule. He also worked for the education of women and virtually laid the foundation for opening up opportunities for women to seek formal education. This was especially true of women from the marginalized sections. For achieving his aims, he opened a girls' school in 1848 at Budwarpet in the residential building of Tatya Sahib Bhide. He opened 2 more schools in 1851, among which one school was for girls of backward classes. He had revolutionary ideas about different aspects of education. We now will take a look at some of the salient features of the educational philosophy of Mahatma Phule. Since all human beings are equal, access to education must be uniform. Monopolistic controls over education must be curtailed. Universalization of opportunities and compulsory education must be ensured. While educating individuals, religion, race, caste, and sex should not be considered. Education should develop humanistic values. The education of women and other deprived groups must be given top priority for establishment of social justice. Education must serve as a binding force in society. A primary school teacher must be a trained person and sufficient salary should be paid to him or her. Curriculum must be utilitarian and practical so as to cover the needs of the society. Preliminary knowledge about agriculture and health should be included in the curriculum. There should be a differentiation between the curriculum of rural and urban schools. Values that stand the test of time such as freedom, equality, fraternity, kindness, self-respect, devotion to one's nation and internationalism should be developed through education. Professional ability and efficiency should be developed so that knowledge may be properly linked. The downward filtration theory advocated by Lord Macaulay is not philosophically sound as it ignores the common masses. Practical knowledge is superior to bookish knowledge, hence primary knowledge in Modi, a special Marathi script, accounts, history, grammar, agriculture, ethics, and health should be imparted. Though quantitative growth in primary schools is important, it should not be at the cost of qualitative growth. The government must formulate the scheme of scholarships and rewards for deserving students and those in need of support. Relevance of Jyotiba's educational philosophy today. In today's educational scenario, Phule's thoughts on education are very relevant. As we know, today education has been mostly reduced to information transmission. There is always a fear of examination because of bookish education. But for Phule, knowledge was not just information. It involved questioning, understanding, critiquing, and interpreting knowledge. As early as in the 19th century, Phule had given alternate educational models. For him, education is the power to think clearly, the power to act well in the world's work, and the power to appreciate life. For Phule, knowledge matters because it can question, change, and transform the individual and society. Education can empower and make society more democratic. It can help in reconstructing, rethinking, and in interpreting tradition. This thought of Phule is extremely relevant in the paradoxical context of caste in contemporary India, where despite constitutional provisions, caste discrimination is widespread. Savitribai Phule, wife of Jyotiba Phule, was one of the pioneers of modern Indian education. Her role in opening up educational opportunities for women, in spite of stiff opposition from upper castes and reactionary forces, stands out as a classic example of courage and conviction. Savitribai is truly a role model. She was the first Indian to spark a revolution in Indian education by opening it up for girls and children of lower castes. She was the first Indian to place the notions of universal, child-sensitive, intellectually critical, and socially reforming education at the very core of the agenda for welfare of children in India. According to Manas, Savitribai Phule is modern India's first woman teacher. She was a radical advocate of education for women and untouchables, a champion of women's rights, a milestone of trailblazing poetry, a courageous mass leader who stood strongly against the forces of caste and patriarchy. Savitribai certainly had her independent identity. Let's now try to get a profile in brief of Savitribai Phule. Born in Naigaon, Satara district in a poor peasant family in Maharashtra, Savitribai Phule married Jyotiba Phule in 1840. And in 1841, Jyotiba began to educate her. Savitribai became the first female teacher in the first school for girls in Pune. She started a school for adult learners in Usman Sheikh's Wada, and 18 more schools were started for girls, Shudras and Atishudras by her. She was conferred the Ideal Teacher Award by the School Inspection Committee. She started a fondling home for children of widows in 1853 and in 1854 published her first collection of poems, Kavya Phule, making her the first modern poetess of Marathi language. Savitribai began teaching in a school for peasants and workers in 1855 and opened their well for untouchables. She provided famine relief through 52 flood centers, and in 1890, after the death of Jyotiba Phule, she nursed patients during the plague epidemic, and in 1897 she herself died of plague. Savitribai's thoughts on education. Savitribai was an educational philosopher well ahead of her times. She incorporated innovative methods for spreading education. She gave stipends to prevent children dropping out of school. She conducted parent-teacher meetings to involve the parents in the educational process so that they would understand the importance of education and support their children. Savitribai's message was work hard, study well, and do good. She constantly underscored the importance of education and physical work for knowledge and prosperity. She felt that women must receive education as they were in no way inferior to men. They were not slaves of men. Savitribai Phule, in association with Jyotiba Phule, developed a framework for education for the masses which had the following 4 key features. These being universally available, child-sensitive, intellectually critical, and socially reforming. Education must be universally available. Savitribai was completely convinced that learning was for every child and that every child is equal, and gave herself totally for this cause. She was a believer in the principle of universal right to education. She stood with Phule when he made mass education the focal point of his movement and gave the highest priority to the education of women and children from lower castes in particular. Education must be child sensitive. Along with her husband Jyotiba, Savitribai concentrated on the needs of primary education, disapproving the government's education policies which neglected primary education and accorded lower status to primary school teachers as compared to teachers of secondary or higher education. In order to change this system, Phule argued that quality primary school teachers should be paid higher salaries than those who were not efficient. He placed a greater weight on practical knowledge rather than bookish knowledge, arguing that education should be utilitarian and practical so as to address society's needs. For example, he believed that the primary school curriculum should be appropriate to the students' contexts, arguing for a clear delineation between rural and urban curriculum, as well as the inclusion of useful and relevant topics such as health and agriculture. Savitribai echoed these thoughts in her educational approach. Education must be intellectually critical. Phule also sought an education system that would educate the masses to think critically and to exercise their own independent reasoning rather than mechanically accepting assertions by persons in position of authority. To Phule, the chief evil in Brahmanical domination over the masses was the promotion of unquestioning faith in religious texts and authorities that were imposed as divinely ordained. He strongly critiqued unthinking belief, superstitions, and rituals, and sought to lay these open to empirical and logical rational inquiry. Phule argued that the first step to the liberation of lower castes was to bring them out of the ideologies of Brahmanism. For that, access to knowledge was the essential prerequisite. He termed his understanding of knowledge as Tritiya Ratna, the third eye which he saw as knowledge that went beyond merely alphabetical competence to the power to see through hegemonic ideology to understand the system of oppression in order to be able to dismantle it. Savitribai's views on education were closely in consonance with the thoughts expounded by Mahatma Phule. Education must pave the way for social reform. Savitribai and the truth seekers community believed that education had the key to bringing about fundamental changes in social attitudes. The goal in promoting education for the masses was not simply to temporarily raise the standard of living for a few individuals, but to reshape the entire future of the nation. Savitribai included all children, both boys and girls, and her special concern was for those ostracized by oppressive caste practices. She was a woman who challenged gender stereotypes, caste hierarchies, and stands as a stellar role model to all those who wait to usher in a new social order. In this presentation, till now, we took you through the main tenets of the educational philosophy and visions of two great reformers, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule. Both were visionaries who thought well beyond their times, challenging both gender and caste hegemony and hierarchies. Jyotiba and Savitri Bai not only started institutions for educating the marginalized and vulnerable groups, but also challenged many of the orthodox practices of their times and had the courage to start institutions and to take steps to support those groups who were ostracized by the caste system. Jyotiba Phule and Savitri Bai Phule were visionaries who really set the standards for revisiting the question of education in an egalitarian framework. They indeed were the path breakers who laid the foundations of what today we are referring to as an inclusive system of education. Their thoughts, their perspectives, their contributions, the questions that they raised and the answers that they gave stand out in our midst as warnings for challenging traditional structures and also questioning those practices and thoughts that have acted as barriers to development.